Yeah, you can hear the wind rattling the windows. This house is really old. I'm trying to distract myself from the problems. I'm reading the some more stuff on the shooting of that cinematographer on the set of the movie Rust. And because what I've been waiting for as a fan of films and people and someone who watched so many movies with guns is I've been waiting for other people who've worked with guns to explain what usually happens. And, you know, people have been being quiet. I think a lot of people are friends with Alec Baldwin and stuff like that. They don't want to say anything, but I was reading the Daily Mail article. Granted, that's it was basically a tabloid, but it was extensive. And at one point, it quoted some comments from Ray Liotta. So I went looking for another article just to see, you know. So there was an article on Fox News that talks about what Ray Liotta and Jeffrey Wright, who was one of my favorite actors, said. So Ray Liotta, where did I just lost it? So what Ray Liotta said is, quote, "They always, that I know of, check it so you can see," Liotta said. "They give it to the person you're pointing the gun at. They do it to the producer. They show whoever is there that it doesn't work." Let me see, I'm losing my place here. I said in a previous video that as somebody who watched movies all these years, and you know I'd seen Alec Baldwin a long time, since the 80s, that I could not really picture, I'm sure he has done because I didn't see every movie of his, but I could not picture Alec Baldwin holding a gun in a movie that I'd seen recently. I know years and years ago he did in a movie Miami Blues where I think he was holding a gun up in the trailer even, but I don't even know if I saw that film. But otherwise, most of his movies haven't, you know, strangely enough, for an Irish person, I think he's Irish, he's played very few police officers, you know. So when I thought of it in the very beginning, I was like, this man he's barely, you know, he hasn't been in westerns, he hasn't, you know, like I said, Married to the Mob, he must have held a gun in that movie. I watched it a bunch of times, but you know, it was more like the comical side of dealing with his wife. You know what I mean? So, he really didn't, as far as I can recall, I don't remember seeing him in a lot of movies holding a gun, which is odd compared to most actors. Because most actors, I mean, if you think of an actor off the top of your head, especially anybody from my generation, like Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, you've seen these guys hold guns and use guns in movies a million times. You know, anybody. So just to not be able to think him doing that. Now, this is what I was waiting for. Like I said, somebody like Ray Liotta, I've seen him use a gun a million times. He, you know, the most recent, I saw him in that movie, this TV show with J-Lo, where she played a cop. I mean, he was a cop as well. He was a bad one. But, you know what I mean? They were all bad ones on that show, now that I think about it. But, you know what I'm saying? So the average actor has played a cop a few times, a bad guy a few times. But Ray Liotta, especially someone who he's saying as far as he knows. They show you. They in front of your face, they show you. So everything about the set is wrong. Now, in the same article, they asked Jeffrey Wright, who, again, this is somebody who, if I think of Jeffrey Wright, I also don't think of him using a gun a lot, but he is on Westworld now. So he said, he was he was acting with a weapon on the set of the Westworld when they heard about the shooting. Quote, "We were all pretty shocked, and it informed what we did from that moment on. I don't ever recall being held a weapon that was not cleared in front of me, meaning chamber open, barrel shown to me." Yeah, it's very windy. Sorry. Meaning chamber open, barrel shown to me, light flashed inside the barrel to make sure that it's cleared. Clearly that was a mismanaged set. Okay, so you have two actors, one of whom I know is very much on the left, being Jeffrey Wright. I'm not sure what Ray Liotta's politics are, so if, you know, because you can already see on Twitter that, as with every story, these things go political, or people are going to defend the people on their side, where if it was somebody who wasn't on their side, they would do something different. But I've been waiting to see stuff like that. I've been waiting to see actors and directors or people who were very familiar with them having guns on the set say something. You know, say this isn't right, this isn't normal, because, as I said before, just as a film fan, a movie buff, and having watched behind the scenes, I already thought that it was ridiculous that I didn't realize they were still using real guns at all. Because I knew that there are some films where they just do everything in post-production in terms of the guns just make sounds and they don't do anything else because they're not guns. They're props. And in the media, they keep calling this weapon that Alec Baldwin had in his hand that shot this woman, they keep calling it a prop gun. And from everything I've read, a prop gun and a real gun are two different things. A prop gun is strictly a prop. It cannot shoot bullets. The gun that was on the set was a gun, meaning an actual gun that you would buy to shoot somebody with if you felt like it. In this Daily Mail article, it says they have exclusively found out it was some kind of vintage Colt. I don't know guns. But from watching movies like Tombstone and stuff, I'm assuming it's a kind you go, you know what I mean? Where you have the thing and you have to, you know, so the story keeps coming out more and more. There's I feel like there's a push to try to take all the blame off of Baldwin, which is ridiculous, because they're all to blame. Everybody there who didn't take a stand, everybody there who didn't walk off the set, everybody there who just let it happen, because by all accounts that whole set was a hot mess. If there were inexperienced people who didn't know better, that's one thing, but an inexperienced person in such a vital position shouldn't even happen. In terms of the armorer, she probably got the job because her dad was a famous armorer. And it's unfortunate that this is the world. This is 2021 and we couldn't be stupider. You know, for all the times and all the things we've been through as people, we get stupider and stupider. And I said, they're rushing around, they're doing things to save money on a movie set where all these people are loaded. I didn't even mean to make a pun. They have a lot of money, okay? And for those people to be trying to save money to the point where somebody gets killed because they're rushing around, because they're hiring inexperienced people, whatever they're doing, I'm sorry, I always will believe that money is the root of all evil. I just will, you know? But yeah, so I expect to hear more from more people. I'm looking to hear from other people who run a set how it's supposed to be done. You know, the people who are normally in charge. Producers who would never let this happen. I want to hear what those kind of people have to say, but I think a lot of people are keeping their mouths shut because they, you know, because maybe they cut costs, maybe they do things wrong. So everybody's going to shut up for now and let the media paint things a certain way, but it's very clear that the whole thing was a hot mess and that should have never happened.